Chrono ShadowSlayer and its 6000 AC recolor, Chrono ShadowHunter, are the 2024 classes in the Chronomancer lineup. Calendar classes are meant to deal high damage, and CSS is no exception. Though how it deals that damage might open up some surprising use cases. It's a hybrid class that crits. Luck enhancements is enough. From the eye enhancements, Spiral Curve might seem like the obvious choice, but I actually recommend Health Vamp, both as a form of sustain and extra damage. You will trigger it more often than other classes. Don't bother with Mana Vamp though, it won't give you extra shots. Moving on to Forge, sadly your 2 skill doesn't target enemies, which makes you incompatible with Lacerate, Praxis, and most importantly Dauntless, even though they are so good on calendar classes. Luckily you will do just fine with Valiance or Ravenous. Try Arcana though, even if you're playing solo, trust me. Helmet, Vim, or base Forge if you need the health. 4 out of the 5 Forge capes make sense because none of your stats are maxed. You can rule out Penitence unless you know you need it. Valiance and Ravenous can help you with your haste issue, which leaves Lament when you don't get an outside source of crit chance, and Vainglory when you do. The person who was able to solo Nightbane recommends you always have a Felicitous filter on. They are loopable, stackable, and relatively cheap. They also fix most of your troubles related to missing stats. Luck works by increasing each of your combat stats by a little, and your crit damage by a lot. Fate Tonics are good for the same reason. Take Battle Elixirs to increase your physical damage, which multiplies together with your crits, and avoids diminishing returns. Instead of just memorizing a combo, let's understand how the spells work together, so you can build your own combo for whatever scenario you find yourself in. First of all, forget about the concept of an auto attack. Yours isn't auto, and it isn't even just one attack. You've got a fast shot, a defensive shot, and a damage shot. You've got 6 bullets to divide between them. Let's try the trivial combo. Press 1 repeatedly to empty your clip as fast as possible, then reload. It's not very damaging, but as the name implies, it's fast. It's a great way to get Arcana stacks quickly or to heal up with Health Vamp. Now let's take a look at your skills 3 and 4. You will enter one of 2 modes, either increasing your defense or your damage output. As long as you are in one of the modes, your shots will debuff your opponent, and these debuffs will stay on even if you change modes. And finally, both skills also automatically trigger your regular shot, which in turn will apply the corresponding debuff, as well as any other on-hit effects such as Arcana. Try pressing 4, then spamming 1 to fully stack your shredded debuff. Now you might have noticed that we haven't taken a look at the Chrono nuke yet. That's because your fast shot doesn't give you Temporal Rift, even if you already have a mode active. Only pressing skills 3 or 4 does. So you can try 4444 nuke reload, 4444 11 nuke reload, or 4444 44 nuke reload. Of course I used 4 as an example, but you can press 3 instead if you need to stay alive. I actually prefer alternating between the two, so 3-4, 3-4, 3-4, 5-2. If all of that made sense so far, there's just one more twist. You can take one of the nuke combos and put it together with the fast combo. For a combo, if you will. You will not? Okay. Finish your combo like you normally would, but instead of fight 2, just press 2. This will convert your Temporal Rift stacks into Gunslinger stance, where you can spam bullets at no cost. In theory, at max haste, you can technically get 20 shots in, but you will be slowed down by server ping and the fact that you're human and not a machine. Only humans play this game, right? You should aim for 12 to 14 stacks of Chaos Rift, and if you find yourself getting less than 8, you might want to switch to a different server or skip Gunslinger stance altogether. And of course, once Gunslinger stance expires, you have the option of spending your remaining bullets, or you can just reload. After nuking, that is. A calendar class is going to be S tier in damage, no surprises there. But there's a difference between huge nukes and DPS spread out across different hits. Most ultras have a boss shield, meaning you get diminishing returns past a certain damage cap, no matter how high you crit. But nobody's restricting the number of times you can hit them. So in this sense, Cascading Star Sheet, Chrono ShadowSlayer, could be the most damaging option available with its Gunslinger stance. Your skill number 3, Tracer Rounds, gives you a boost in defense and dodge. You can get max dodge by messing with your enhancements a bit or by using potions. but because it slows down your damage combo, it's not always ideal. Your health vamp weapon is a great way to heal up that's not affected by healing reduction effects. It's a single target class with medium range, so it's not gonna be an ideal farmer, despite the low cooldowns. I found this particular scenario which is legitimately useful, but otherwise I wouldn't farm with the class. In PvP, you need to get in range, build up your nuke, and stay alive in the meantime. You're at a huge disadvantage compared to classes who enter the arena with max dodge or one-shot you without a build-up. Besides a few debuff streamer skills, you're more of a selfish DPS class, not a support, which leads me to the elephant in the room, Ultras. The class has actually revolutionized speedrunning, due to its ability to deal high damage despite boss shields. And yet I cannot in good faith recommend that you take this class in a pub room and expect to do well. You need good supports, high level enhancements, and a fast connection. It's kinda like how investing in real estate is a good way to earn money. Yeah, technically it is, but by the time you get there, you're already doing kinda well. And maybe you just need to pay for today's dinner. So in this sense, yes, this is a win more class with higher peaks but also lower lows. So take this class when speedrunning with friends, but don't be surprised when that level 80 with a burning blade asks you to switch. Alright, let me finish with giving a few tips and tricks for the class. Find a server with a low latency by checking your ping in your settings menu. Yes, it really matters. The higher the latency, the fewer the shots in Gunslinger. Speaking of Gunslinger, you can try rebinding your attack key to a key you have two of, such as Control. Some people use their numpad 1. And you can also experiment with rebinding your scroll wheel if you have a customizable mouse or a drawing tablet. Open your settings, disable damage strobe, damage numbers, and hide players, and play in a smaller window. This will reduce your client lag. Finally, remember that you only need to have max dodge the moment you're being attacked. You can time your tracer rounds while still using the rest of your kit. I've made a Ko-fi account where I can accept donations, and it would be lovely to have your support. The money would be reinvested in the channel in the form of buying in-game content such as calendar classes, hosting my website, and publishing my app, which is getting an update soon, and also my own food and rent. Please only donate if you can afford it without worsening your own quality of life. The app and website are getting updated with better icons, more graphs for damage comparisons, and a new feature where you can view the requirements for certain items and quests and tick them off as you progress. I want to get to the point where there's a comprehensive guide to all S and A tier classes, as well as all ultras. Overall, Chrono ShadowSlayer is a great way to deal damage and kill ultra monsters in record times. But because it's reliant on outside factors, I only recommend it for high level players. If you are able to support it though, the DPS is not gonna disappoint you. Check out Wanderlust's CSS guide and have a great day.